um schools. Like they got schools now. They're gonna have a new system on the days that they have open for school. So the way we grew up, we went to school Monday through Friday, right? Now the schools are going to go to a new schedule where they only open from Tuesday through Friday. So the kids get to stay home on that Monday.
I think it's terrible because right now, I go to schools all the time doing for my job or whatever, and I always be talking to the teachers. I talk to administrators. I talk to principals, and I be going to a plethora of different schools. You know what I'm saying? I go to the top tier schools in Florida. I go to the hooded schools in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So I always be asking teachers like, "Yo, how's the kids? Like, what's changed from when we was in school to now you being a teacher? Do you see the difference?" Like, I've talked to teachers who've been in the game for like 30 years and stuff. And like when we was in school, there was no like, oh, if you didn't pass, it's okay. We'll just let you go. Nigga, if you failed, you failed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Either gotta go to summer school or you gotta take that shit over. Now it's like they coddle these kids along, and we talking about juniors and seniors. I know this for a fact from one teacher, where she's saying that a lot of these kids that are juniors are not even reading at an eighth grade level,
Mm-hmm.
and we talking about Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you take a day away and only implement Tuesday to Friday, like you really like uh destroying a lot of opportunities for kids to have to really, really learn. You know what I'm saying? Like so and then you also putting more strain on the teachers. They're already strained enough as it is. You're not having no, especially when we're talking about the lower tier schools, like there's not enough funding for these schools. These teachers are overworked. Some teachers have three, four hats. They the math teacher, they the gym teacher, they the fucking event coordinator, they the yearbook advisor. Like you running these teachers ragged. Now you trying to condense the school curriculum to like only 4 days. That's insane, son.
Mm-hmm.
You're not giving no money. You're not giving no funding to these schools to at least make it worthwhile. Like where's the money? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane to me because it's like I'm in these schools. Yeah, I don't be in the schools from Monday to Friday, but I be in there long enough to have conversations with teachers and see what's the atmosphere like. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
if you're not in a top tier school, it's like you cooked, son. And we went to public school, and public school wasn't even that bad. Like I went to Bayside. Bayside was a decent school. It wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? It was a decent school. Kids that graduated went to D1 schools, not for ball, but actually for education and shit. Like they
Mm-hmm.
got there on their grades and their merit. You know what I'm saying? Like people went to good ass schools. But this is we talking about in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
2023 now. These kids is like their attention span is so short now. It's like trying to get their attention to do shit is like it's next to impossible. So for them to take away Monday and only do Tuesday to Friday, I really feel like it's we're not gonna see it now, but in a couple of years, kids are gonna graduate and not have no skill set. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They're not gonna have no skill set. They're not gonna really have no knowledge out there. And once you 18 as a man, ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't got no type of basic knowledge or basic reading knowledge, how to read, and one teacher told me if at least if you could get them to, she told me if you could get them to read at an eighth grade level, all the applications that you got to fill out for a job are at an eighth grade level. So at least you can fill out an application,
Right.
get a job. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, and I was thinking about like, God damn, like that's terrible, son.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible. So if you take away a day and do it Tuesday to Friday, like that's only hurting the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
China right now, they go Monday through Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like if we competing at a global level with the other countries, nah, we not even in the top 10, son. Not
Mm-hmm.
even. I don't even think we in the top 20.
I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised either way, whether it's top 10 or top 20. My main thing is what is the end game?
fact.
Because it's very interesting because we just went through the change in the time, where we get an extra hour of sleep and all that stuff. Okay, cool. But that's not built. The only reason why that was built was so that when there's an extra hour of sunlight, that the factories could benefit off the work.
Mm-hmm.
The guys, your employees coming earlier, and they get the benefit of the sun hitting their face, and you get more work done. You just, ultimately get more work done when you have the sun up. Um, so what is the end game for Tuesday through Friday? Because education, uh, if it's about education, then the kids need to be in school from Monday through Saturday. If it's about education, if it's about um, if the end game is about educating the kids on making sure that they hit a certain criteria as much as possible. I'm at the believer that school should be open Monday through Saturday, and be 2 shifts of school, but we don't have enough teachers for 2 different shifts of school, and I get that. So at bare minimum, it should be Monday through Saturday if it's about education, if it's about the kids that are going to school and what they're learning is going to benefit the society, because what they going to school now is not benefiting society. The curriculum that they're taking has nothing to do with the real world. You know, I also own a business doing taxes. Nothing in school, in high school, prepared me for owning a tax business. Nothing, right? Even in college, I took very hard math courses because I minored in accounting. And even accounting is not the same as taxes. It's 2 different things. So these schools are not preparing kids for life, which is the biggest misnomer of the schools. So if you're focused on only having school open from Tuesday through Friday, then now you need to implement life courses. That way when they school, they're gonna and probably think of something else that could benefit what we need. Why not have plumbing courses implemented in elementary school or junior high school? So that way, when they get to high school, they're experts at it. Why not implement um, various things with cyber stuff, you
Security.
know, security? Why not implement things like trash? How to better what's the best way to keep our streets clean? Why not implement these type of things in the school system that could really benefit? So again, if they start at the 8th grade, by the time they get to the 12th, they're going to be master in their field, and they have real skills that they could go into the world and implement. Electrician, being an auto mechanic, these things still matter. Even if we're going to electrical cars, you still need to know a better way to work that electrical car. I'm gonna make myself sound old, but when I was a little boy, my brother and myself, we was listening to Walkmans. Now we have and people that don't know, a Walkman is the size of a fist, and we went from Walkmans to CD players to MP3 players to pretty much it's on your phone. When we had phones in the beginning of the 2000s, it was just a phone, and then you had a phone, and now you have a camera that shoots better than any Nokia or any Canon, pretty much. And they could do video. You can get camera and video, so you got all these things in one. Why not implement these things at school? If now Tuesday through Friday system, start implementing things, so that way when these kids come out, they ahead of the game in the competitive marketplace, because you're asking these kids to get educated. They get educated, they come to you for a job. They don't have experience. Now, if they don't get their education and go get the experience, yeah, we would love to hire you, but You don't even have a associate's or a bachelor's, so we can't do nothing about it. You got all this experience, but we can't use you because you don't have the education. Make it make sense. So if the end game, if you're going to choose to go from Tuesday through Friday, which is bizarre to me, implement these life things and these life tools that these kids are going to need when they graduate. Why not implement emotional intelligence in schools and how to deal with conflict? Because me and you had a conversation off camera about school not really being about education. School is really about a social activity, being sociable, being in a social environment with your peers. So that way, when you get into the real world, you know how to act in a social environment with your peers. But what they're not doing, they've made it so generic. Like, what impact on the world is the kids knowing who Christopher Columbus is?
None. Because knowing about Christopher Columbus ain't gonna help you pay your bills at the end of the day.
Exactly. So why not learn about things that's going to actually implement change and implement to the core structure of our society?
Just having basic, not even expert advice, knowledge, just having basic knowledge on certain things that will help you further along. Like, let's say you want to eventually, even if you have a skill set in plumbing or electrician, shoot, you still need the basic knowledge of how to open up an own business with an LLC or sole prop or a corporation, knowing the difference between these entities and how it would benefit you as a person in going into business as far as plumbing or electricity. You can open up your own joint, knowing how to get an EIN, knowing how to open up a bank account with the EIN. These basic knowledges. Yeah, there are schools that's teaching that like that. If you got 50K, to pay for a school like American Heritage. If you got $50,000 a year, oh yeah, you gonna get them lessons. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta pay 50,000, and that school in particular, it goes from first grade to like to 12th grade, right? So again, I was in the school. I'm just asking questions, bro. From first grade to 8th grade, that shit is $25,000 a year. And some of the kids I talk to, like, yo, how long you been in this school? Oh, I've been here since the third grade. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? The third grade? And they like juniors now. I'm like, God damn. I'm in the back of my mind, like, what the fuck do your parents do, son?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, other kids, unfortunately, like us, gotta go in there with a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they'll take you get a scholarship, you good. You good for all the years you there. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta get that scholarship first. But these other kids that don't look like me and you know what I'm saying? They just pay out of pocket. Like, oh yeah, my parents paid for this shit. And then this school is so ritzy that I told you before off camera that they got their own parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
3-level parking lot, son. I was the only one in there with the bummiest car, son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about juniors and seniors of Strictly.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had a Tesla, Range Rover, the new Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God damn. So there's knowledge out there, but it's only if you're able to pay for the shit. Where it's like, oh, that's not fair because it's like it should be at least basic knowledge should be attainable for everybody. Who's to say what knowledge you supposed to pay for? Who made that rule? You know what I'm saying? Like we going about a system that was created back in the damn near 1800s, early 1900s, almost to the 20th century. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this system is not working now. Like y'all gotta switch it up. Y'all gotta make more incentives for matter of fact, pay the teachers more. You know what I'm saying? Pay them teachers more. Give them niggas 6 figures. Fuck that. Give teachers 6-figure salaries. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker get 6-figure salary, he gonna deal with your badass jit better than the amount of money he getting right now. Cause he looking at his paycheck like, yo, I'm getting this and I'm dealing with these badass kids. Nah, it's not worth it. You start paying these teachers 6 figures, yo, I bet you they're gonna motherfuckers gonna be, it's gonna be mad niggas going to Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Because there's great teachers out there, but they just not getting paid.
I mean, just so happily, the highest paying state in the U.S. is one of the better school districts in the U.S. Surprise, surprise, which is in Massachusetts. You know,
Yeah, I heard like they reading comprehension is like through the roof type shit.
yeah. So I mean, with that type of motivation to accurately pay the teachers is going to be a benefit. But see, the thing is, it's about what the curriculum basis. What is the end game at the end of the day? Like, I went to one of those high schools. I went to Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn, and anybody been to Fort Hamilton? It's a very ritzy school. It's in a very rich neighborhood in Brooklyn. It doesn't look like the rest of the Brooklyn. There's nothing but mansions and all that stuff around there. Probably the bummiest thing about the school used to be the football field. Until when I went to school, they changed our field and they got us a brand new field. We was actually the poorest high school in the area, and that's because it was a public school. All the other schools around Fort Hamilton was all private school, or you had to dress up to go, to wear uniform to go to those schools. But the mentality of the kids that I went to school with, obviously, they didn't look like me and you, the kids that I went to school with.
Mm-hmm.
So the mentality of the kids, I'm only in the school because I'm nice in football and basketball. I have a scholarship to go to the school. I'm from Flatbush, New York. So anybody know Flatbush and Bay Ridge is like a world away. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo,
your shout out to Khalif in the building. Shout out to Leaf in the building. So for Hamilton and Flatbush is worlds away. So the kids that I went to school with, I'm like they looking at me like, yo, bro, you actually be studying? Like I had a 3.6 GPA average to be at Fort Hamilton. I'm like, you actually be studying? And these kids that don't look like me and you didn't have to worry about studying. They didn't have to worry about studying. They just went to school, they party, they did whatever because they was gonna run a family business. They was gonna do this. They was bust my butt. Two trains and a bus to Fort Hamilton from where I live. That lived in the neighborhood. They didn't care about getting no.
mm-hmm.
I had to go get a side job even while playing football. So the mentality of the kids was different. The mentality of the kids is basically what we're talking about. But the school taught us all the same thing. So now with these schools going from Tuesday through Friday, what is the end game? So you're gonna have shorter time for school. Then y'all need to get to the point. Stop worrying about algebra. Stop worrying about all these meaningless courses, and really dive into what science means to the world and how can it be used. How can we produce better concrete? How can we produce better dirt? How can we produce a cleaner way of life and living? Let's get to the point. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Stop worrying about the moon and the stars unless y'all know that we need to find a different way to better our oxygen. Let's get to the point if the schools are going from Tuesday through Friday.